Ladies and gentlemen. Hello?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
You know what that means.
You know what that means, chat. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Time to talk about Mega Blocks and all things brick
I was
related.
going to talk about Taylor Swift. I mean, that was like where I was headed.
They're just such a good couple together, and I've never been more of a fan of the Chiefs than right in this moment. And the entire Kelsey family is just...
Of course you are. Of course you are.
Their podcast is good. With him and his brother, it's pretty good.
They are. They're I mean, look, the dude's the new Peyton Manning. Travis Kelce is the new Peyton Manning when it comes to advertising, when it comes to NFL personality. Like he is the guy. But by God, if Tony Romo taught us anything, you got to be careful with these pop stars, man. They'll ruin your life. They will ruin your life, ladies and gentlemen.
They're not like podcast stars like Z&B. Z&B Unfiltered Live.
They could only
Wednesdays,
wish.
10 a.m. Okay, we're holding it down, but I'll let you do you just take care of it. Take us off. He's still
pickle hungover. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into Z&B Live Unfiltered on this Wednesday, November 22nd. It is after 10 a.m. Eastern time here on the YouTubes, and that is where you can find us live discussing Lego news, notes, and topics all around the globe. But as Mr. Bricks O'Brien here, my co-host with the most, is showing off, it is Christmas time, folks.
It is
Christmas time.
And I know that because Magic 106.7 has bumped on the Christmas tunes all hours of the day, 24/7. It dawned upon us. They either start right before Thanksgiving or on Black Friday. I don't know what it depends on, what the fiscal calendar they're looking at for Christmas music. But once I hear it on the radio, then it's time.
It is time. See, we've got like satellite radio and stuff like that, right? Where you can find a Christmas channel all year long. And my son is obsessed with Christmas, not because of like toys and presents and things like that. He just likes the vibe of Christmas. So there have been
I can see that. Yep.
Plenty of times where I have walked downstairs in the middle of June and Christmas music is playing on one of the Echo devices, like throughout the house, where like he's just sitting there working on homework or drawing something or whatever, and then there's Christmas music playing in the background. I'm like, dude, it's June. What are you doing?
You gotta preserve that holiday spirit. That's like a pure joy that we have to. I mean, not we. I'm not involved in your household. You and your wife have to protect for all time, because that's special.
That's right. It's very, very special. But the big deal, we have this little so we have Halloween, and then we have this weird buffer of like 3 weeks where I start celebrating Christmas early. I know not everybody gets into that. That's fine. That's on you. It's okay to be wrong. But really, there's this day that's just kind of in the middle of between Halloween and Christmas, and it's called Thanksgiving. Now, don't get me wrong, the day is good. It's a good day to take advantage of reflection, thinking back on what you are thankful for yourself, your family, your friends. And I love that. It's a good day to eat food and watch Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift on the TV. But realistically, for me, it's the day after. It's that Black Friday consumerism. Yeah, exactly. We love that around this household. It's that day to take advantage of sales and deals and get stuff for your friends, for your family, for yourself. For that matter, Black Friday can be a crazy day if you go out and about, and it's changed over my lifetime of how Black Friday was consumed and celebrated. And, I'm out at the stores this past weekend, and they already have all of their, the Target's got TVs lined down the freaking aisle, Black Friday sales, the 50% off this TV from 2021 or whatever it was, just to dump their inventory kind of thing, right? So the deals are already out nowadays compared to the way it used to be, where you weren't even sure. You had to get this crazy thing called a newspaper, Brian. It was a newspaper. My God.
I always look forward to getting the Black Friday flyer, and a lot of that, surprise and delight has been taken away because of the internet. So not only is it easier for shopping online, but everyone's trying to get their stuff out first. So you're trying to figure out, all right, when do I plan out my stuff and whatever. And now, as somebody who releases merchandise and stuff, I'm like, well, I got to tell my people about what I got going on, right? So we got all that stuff happening too. So Black Friday's definitely changed for me, but I really like going out and being among the craziness of Friday, and just that sense of like camaraderie, because only the crazy people go out at like midnight or 5 a.m. to wait in line at the Lego store, right? The passionate people, not the crazy people, the passionate people. So I like being among them. And that's what I look forward to this Black Friday, as I get up at 4:30 or 4:45 in the morning to get my Avengers Tower, which I'm very much excited for. And we'll be building live, as a matter of fact, the following Saturday, this upcoming Saturday, actually.
There you go. You've heard it here second. He is building that set's live on Saturday over on Twitch, yes, twitch.tv/Bricks O'Brien. I do not like the craziness. I think I'm too old for it at this point. Sure. There was a time in my youth that I enjoyed fighting, forearm shivering the 12-year-old next to me, trying to get to the one toy that I wanted, whatever. Tackling that 90-year-old lady trying to get, this particular stuffed animal for her granddaughter or whatever. It's like, yeah, I enjoyed it at that point in my youth. But nowadays, nah, they've made it too convenient to shop online. And that's why it's interesting to hear from you saying, I'm going to get up early. I'm not, I'm going to get very little sleep. I'm going to go get up. I'm going to go wait in line, probably in the cold, because at least at my mall where my Lego store is, like, they don't let you in the building. You have to wait outside until the doors open.
Oh, no, they let us in the building, thankfully. Well, because we're in New England. I mean, it gets, not that it doesn't get cold out by you either, but here they're like, no, you can go inside. Yeah. Like, there's mall walkers at like however early on any given day. So that's beside the point, though. I'll be there early. And it makes it a little special, like, especially when I worked at the Lego store, which probably influences my perspective, but getting to see fans there early, wanting to buy their thing. And then, yeah, people are generally more in the holiday spirit. So that also helps. And that kind of gets me in a Christmassy mindset too. So I got a giant tree in my office and I'm wearing all this stuff. I'm trying to feel the energy, even though it's downpouring and cloudy right now and not snowing.
What time does the Lego store actually open for you to like walk through?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. Okay. So you know where I'm going to be at 6 a.m. on Black Friday, Brian? I'm going to be sitting next to my fire in my living room, just sipping my nice hot coffee.
And you'll FaceTime me and laugh at my commisery as I wait alongside the A-Falls.
Well,
so
you're
about
shivering.
Those Black Friday deals,
while you're shivering, Brian. Warm,
we have a couple of
cozy.
Don't talk about me being cold. We have a couple Black Friday deals that Lego has lied to us about previously, pertaining to this Insider Weekend. Give you a little scratch right there, everybody. Because the Insider Weekend, I guess, is doubling up. Instead of it being just one weekend where you can get things like the Market Stall or Magisto's Workshop or whatever else, you can actually get those on Black Friday as well. Black Friday weekend in store online.
No.
It's crazy. So were you the clown that went and spent $1,000 or something to get ahead of Black Friday weekend?
Lego, come on, man. You make it a time crunch. You say, gotta do it. It's only going through that. You put the dates. You said it's done before it, and then you extended it, and then you extended it again, and then you took all of the coupon codes away for all these sets to get $30 and $40 and $100 off, and then you brought those back.
Well, to be fair, all of those are still here. And the only thing they're adding on when you look at it this way for Black Friday is the set releasing the Avengers Tower will have a gift with purchase specifically for that and only that. So you're not necessarily missing out on something by purchasing on Black Friday. If anything, you have another opportunity to spend $500. But in my case, if I were just buying the Avengers Tower, I get all that stuff and I don't got to spend nothing else to get it. So
correct.
If that was your plan, you got a little bleeped over there. There you go.
Do you think this was the plan all along, or is this a result because of lack of sales?
So I always find it really hard to believe that this wasn't on a sheet of paper somewhere that they bring up. So maybe there was a plan A, plan B sort of situation, and they resulted to the plan B, which was to extend it for, I believe, a couple days and then all the way through, because I think as of right this very second, this stuff does not apply. Like those deals are off. So you can't get the Winter Stall Market or Magisto's Workshop. And, you know, maybe they went a little overboard on producing how many gift with purchases there were going to be, or maybe it was the plan all along. If not, why not make it a week-long celebration? You know, right. Maybe it was a strategy to get people who are not purchasing the Avengers Tower anyways to just show up and get their purchasing done in store online, so they're not literally bombarded on Black Friday weekend.
I wonder if it was a lack of, or not a lack, I'm sorry, a amount of negative feedback that the sales ended after this major set release that then encompassed both of those milestones.
I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, when you have the Avengers Tower, something of that scale that is objectively a desirable Lego model that's going to bring in foot traffic, even just to look at, and, you know, you're already factoring in people that are going to be in the mall and shopping online anyways. It might have all just played into the perfect storm of them not having the sales they wanted, drumming up a little more interest and carrying it through that way. I don't really know. None of us really know. We don't have the sales sheet to reflect it, right? So,
yeah. Is Avengers Tower the next Rivendell set, Brian, where it's bringing in people that wouldn't normally build Lego to buy this set? Rivendell was one of those strange sets that fans of the Lord of the Rings property were going out and buying this set as their very first Lego set. I heard in many cases. We saw it all over the Twitch realm, where longtime video game streamers are out there building their very first Lego set on Twitch, and it was in fact Rivendell. Is Avengers Tower that next set to kind of bridge that gap where it's so much excitement around it and there's so many Marvel fans out there? Or are these Marvel fans have already been buying Lego at this point anyway?
I don't think you're going to see the same sort of reception, so I think it's layered. First layer is that it's Lord of the Rings, a series that has long been dormant, only to be, you know, revived recently with Rings of Power, which are two separate things. And then even before that was Hobbit, which is three separate things. So even when Lego was producing sets for Lord of the Rings and Hobbit, there was nothing of this scale, nothing of this, like just a level of awe that was a Lego set. We had the Tower of Orthanc, but for all intents and purposes, it's a big giant black tower, right? It's not necessarily having the same level of pizzazz, I think, that Rivendell has. And between having the original Lord of the Rings line up till when Rivendell was brought to market, that's like a 10-year time period. So there's a whole section of Lord of the Rings people that basically never knew it existed or forgot it existed or whatever. Whereas with Lego Marvel, there's stuff every single month basically coming out with it. There's new content every single month. So that's their way to get their fix of Marvel something through Disney Plus, the movies, or whatever. Lord of the Rings hasn't had any, you know, meaningful product or content in a long time besides Rings of Power. And maybe some people don't even like that. So I think it was a bit of, hey, this is the thing that reignites my interest in Lord of the Rings. in this Lego set, where there are already so many other Marvel things that people can gravitate toward, like Loki season 2, that it's not going to carry the same weight with the Avengers Tower. It's still going to be really popular. People are going to seek it out. It's going to be on Dad's Christmas list as that big Lego set he has in his office, but I don't think to the same degree as Rivendell at all.
Gotcha. Black Friday is going to wrap up, obviously, on Sunday, the 26th, making way for Cyber Monday. And actually, there are not, right now, Lego announcing no major exclusive deals outside of a couple of small poly bags available for Cyber Monday. And in fact, they're taking off, as Brian mentioned earlier, the Magisto's Magical Workshop off of the GWP list and only leaving the winter market stall should supplies last that long. You can, however, still get your Avengers Tower and the gift with purchase there if that survives. I don't see Avengers Tower surviving Friday. I don't
think so either.
So I think if you're in the market for Avengers Tower, you got to get online at midnight Eastern time, or you got to get your booty up at 4 a.m. along with Mr. Bricks O'Brien and get to the store and get there in line on Friday. If you try to buy that set on Saturday, I think you will be very, very disappointed. Are you shocked by the lack of Cyber Monday exclusives for Lego?
Not at all, because Cyber Monday doesn't matter in a world where Black Friday is earlier and earlier, putting out the sales before Black Friday starts or even in the beginning of November. And that convenience, while they're trying to compete with Amazon and whoever else, Cyber Monday is basically Black Friday at this point. And Cyber Monday feels like that 2009 way of saying, hey, you should shop online, but
we have
like
this fancy thing called the internet now.
Yeah.
We're past that.
The infrastructure is here for online shopping, and getting stuff here super quick. So I think it doesn't even matter. I wouldn't even be surprised if they just, try to get rid of that phrase eventually down the line, or they find a way to attribute some other meaning to it other than a Black Friday sale online, because they're already online. So I don't.
That was my next question, is why are we still talking about cyber? Why is Cyber Monday still a thing? Why are they still?
It's another holiday. It's an excuse for them to be like, hey, go back to our website. And it's up to the companies to attribute a value to it, whether it's an exclusive thing one way or another. But if you're a company, you're like, yeah, I'm going to put it out Black Friday because that's when I know everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be in store online on Friday.
Right.
So why am I going to wait till Monday at this point?
Right.
It's within a short enough amount of time that it makes sense to just do it all in one go.
Yeah, they just and that's where it seems to me that the normal consumer these days has been educated enough to know that, well, we can get this stuff online already on Friday. Heck, we can get this stuff already now. Yep. Like, unless they're really holding something back specifically, but there are so many deals and whatnot already available that you can just go ahead and get online and get them. What's the holdup? Store, stop. I mean, we need an Amazon to just say, we're not saying the word anymore. We're not using the term anymore. So everybody else can just follow suit. But as Brian said, the big sales start Friday, Black Friday, midnight, wherever you're going to, whatever time it is. A lot of these sales start 7 p.m. on Thanksgiving night now. And, people have their turkey and they wrap up some leftovers in foil, and then they go sit outside the stores and they wait if there's something specific, these doorbusters and whatnot. I start watching the internet and waiting for those fantastic Walmart videos to start posting up on TikTok of people just being annihilated, trying to run through the door as they're trying to get that one toaster oven that they needed for $5.
Yeah, but not for nothing, a lot of those appliances, just a quick sidebar, are already cost effective as they are. I feel like coffee makers, toaster, TVs, especially. Those are one of the only things over the years that have decreased as everything else has increased. You can get a 65-inch TV for $300 or something, not even. They are not nearly as expensive as they were years ago. And you got to, so I feel like even that allure has gone away. I'm not waiting for Blu-rays or 4K movies anymore, or CDs. So what am I waiting in a line for?
What are
anyway?
people waiting for outside of us A-fulls and waiting for our Lego, right? What is in our Avengers Tower? What is it that people are waiting for now on Black Fridays? What is the allure? What is that? I don't know what it is anymore.
Validation, I guess.
Y'all need, as Brian likes to say, y'all need to get a hobby. Brian's.
That's not Lego.
That's not Lego. We challenged ourselves, ladies and gentlemen, to come up with to help out maybe a little bit, to peek inside of our brains and say, if we were going to rush out and buy up some Lego this Black Friday, this holiday shopping season, what are sets that we would spend our money on? We gave ourselves, when it comes to Lego anyway, a very modest $250 budget. And you think, wow, $250, that's a lot of money. And it is. It's a lot of money. In the grand scheme of Lego,
not a lot.
Not a lot of money. It's pretty crazy that a little plastic toy can cost so much, but it does. That being said, Mr. Bricks O'Brien is up first to present to you his holiday buying guide. These are sets that are in his brain that he's been looking at, kind of obsessing over, to maximize your dollar when it comes to your holiday shopping spree. So, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'll weigh in here and there as I see fit. But we're going to start with you, and you're first on your holiday shopping list.
Yeah, so this is many years of working at the Lego store and being like, hey, you should buy this for your kid or for your niece or nephew, and finding the most value for your money. And obviously my bias tied right into that. And a lot of these sets I actually don't have, but I can easily recommend to all of you, including the Penguin Slushy Van. This, for obvious reasons, is one that I really like.
I think we're going to see a theme as we move along a little bit.
Yeah, potentially. But Lego City always resonates really well, especially with kids, because vehicles or animals and minifigures, you normally get your best bang for your buck at a sub $80 price point. Once you get a little bit higher than that, those trains, the aquatic vehicles, and the whatever, it gets crazy expensive for literally no reason other than maybe the road plates. So basically, if it doesn't have a road plate in it, I like recommending it. And the Slushy Van is really cool. I mean, a unique vehicle for your Lego City. You get the penguin outfit guy, and the front of it looks like a penguin as well. So it's a cute little set that you can get somebody as a stocking stuffer, or your niece or nephew that you see once or twice a year, like, hey, take a Lego, keeps them occupied for 3 hours, and they can roll it around on the floor. So I really like this one for all those reasons, and obviously penguins.
This is a nice set, even beyond stocking stuffer. I feel like this is a set that this could be a featured set underneath the tree.
Yeah,
it really could be. It's a nice. We've given a few of these away, over the past year on the Twitch channel, and these I've been very impressed with this set overall. So this is beyond just a stocking stuffer type of set.
And I still don't have this one, so I got to pick it up eventually.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. What's second on your list, Mr. Bricks O'Brien?
This one, the Birdhouse, man. The Creator 3-in-1 Birdhouse is an amazing value for what you get. I saw this right when it came out, purchased it as that set to build for me. So I have that in my off camera over here. Not only because Creator 3-in-1 also has great value for every single set that is in the lineup, but it's a fairly substantial build with the Birdhouse itself, along with getting way more birds than I think you might think at first. So you get unique builds for 5 full-size birds, and then there's one little baby bird inside the birdhouse as well, which can also be converted into a beekeeper's hut. And then I forget what the third one is. Oh, park bench with a hedgehog and a squirrel. So you get a lot more ways to create this and have it on display. It's very dynamic in that. Obviously, you can build whatever you want out of Lego, but for the kids that want to follow a set of instructions or just kind of do something in the background, 3-in-1 is always great, and this is by far the most fun one, in my opinion, of the bunch that's released in the past year.
This is a very, very, very nice 3-in-1 set. Definitely caught my eye when it came out. I do own this set. I just have not actually put it together yet. But yeah, it's the alternate builds themselves even really piqued my interest. I really liked how they did the beehive, the beekeeper hive, and whatnot. This is a very nice set. And don't sleep on these 3-in-1 sets. These 3-in-1 sets are spectacular, not only for AFOLs who are just looking to build bricks, to collect pieces, but these are fantastic for kids that are looking for alternate builds. One set, 3 different ways, keep them coming back. It's a great line that Lego puts out that I feel like adults like us who tend to gear towards the particular, Marvels and DCs and stuff, and the modulars, or just the particular themed whatever. Don't sleep on these sets. These sets are spectacular and should be celebrated 100%.
Especially the buildings. The buildings are very cool, perfect for your city.
Yeah. Of course.
This one's cheating. I'm cheating on this one. Technically, this is the Penguin Family Snow Adventure expansion set. I got to put Lego Mario on here. I have to. I'm contractually obligated by blood oath to the Lego group and Nintendo. Okay, has to happen.
Do you have a Mario tattoo?
No, I have no tattoos. Because my grandfather, who has a full sleeve, said, "Brian, you're not getting tattoos."
Really? Yeah. Granddad laid down the law. Okay.
Nope. Grampy Howie was like, "No, sir, you're not doing it." So I'm not doing it.
Okay. Well, there you go. Whatever Grampy Howie says, that goes.
Yep. So this one is cheating. It's cheating because I have this early from Beyond the Brick Lego. Get to build it early, but this releases on December 1st. So this is in time for the holidays. And for $20, if you're looking for a Mario set that isn't, overinflated price-wise, actually, the 2 sets that are coming out on December 1st are pretty good price-wise, but you get 3 characters in a $20 set, which is typically unheard of. You're normally getting a suit and a Goomba, or even less, for $20. So that's always been what I look for in a Mario set, because that's what matters the most, at least to me. But even that little snow cave build, those translucent big ugly rock pieces, the tiles used for that slide on the right-hand side there, all of it is pretty useful for building if you're doing like a snow haven sort of a situation. So overall win for me. For $20, if you have Mario, absolutely pick up this one.
Yeah. And again, keep in mind, these are sets that are the whole collection that Brian puts out here is going to equal below, or should equal below, $250. So it's not that we like this, which he might actually, because it's got penguins in it, but it's not that we like this over other Mario sets or anything like that. It's just, this is going to fit within the budget. We're trying to maximize your dollars here. Yep. So this is, make note, get your pens out, children, get your pens and paper out, start making notes. This is your list. Check it twice.
And I can confirm this does have paper instructions. No application needed for a Mario build in the play system.
We like this. We like
this. There you go.
Grampy Howie can help put this together because he doesn't have to grab his iPad. Next up on your list, I thought this one was interesting because I'm a little sneak peek. None of the advent calendars made my list. Even with them going on sale, they were too expensive for what we were getting to take up too large of a chunk on my holiday shopping list this year.
Yeah, so this being at $40 on sale seems appropriate. So I went with the sale price. Everything's from lego.com, but that's the sale price I have currently. And it's before Christmas. So that seems like it should have been the retail price from the get-go. But I always like including a Christmas-related item. And this would be a gift I would give my fictitious son or daughter before Christmas. Like, hey, this is something you can do leading up to the event. And then the Marvel one specifically because, I'm a Marvel fan, but getting to see a newer Lego theme take the mantle of an advent calendar is really appealing. So this one, Harry Potter are the newest, where traditionally for many, many, many years, it's been Friends, City, and Star Wars. So those aren't as appealing to me, where you get to see Spider-Man in the unique holiday torso. You get minifigures, which are a big feature and something desirable about the Marvel sets in general. You get a concentrated amount here. So you get Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, right? You got a bunch of characters and accessories to go with them. Fun thing to do throughout the holiday season. So figure why not toss it on there.
The Marvel one was a little bit on the fence for me. I really did like the Spider-Man, and you got Cap holding Mjolnir there, which is obviously a nice geek moment for everybody. But I had the funds this year to purchase one Advent calendar, and Star Wars, me being a Star Wars fan, won out for me. There was still a lot to really like about the new Star Wars Advent calendar, enough minifigs in the Star Wars calendar, Advent calendar to enjoy. But once again, it's hard to put one of these at $40 sale price on a list of $250. That's a pretty big chunk of my budget there. And I get what you're saying. Enjoy, include Christmas to kind of get people jacked about, the whole Christmas thing. It's very festive of you, Brian, but I cannot pull the trigger on a set
that's
like
okay,
this.
Man.
Next up, we're gonna get some sleepy time, baby, with the dream sets.
I want someone to clip. We want to get some sleepy time, baby. So with dreams, it's the newer Lego theme. This is the experimental one that you get your kid for Christmas because maybe he hasn't seen the series yet. Maybe she doesn't care about what the actual vehicle is, but it's cool looking. And I'm going on literally cool factor for this one out of all the dream sets. This one's a little bit pricier. I believe it's $60. So the fact that it can be a car or the crocodile car, and it's just crazy enough that it exemplifies that like Nexo Knights energy, that Ninjago energy, but in a new thing. So this is like just a fun experimental one I tossed on my list, and it's substantial enough in terms of how much space it takes up, like volume of stuff, right? The crocodile car is kind of long and it's got some bulk to it. So this is my oddball choice of the bunch.
I like it. I like oddball choices. I mean, that's the thing. You got to still remember Lego can still be affordable, and for kids, it's hard for us AFOLs to remember that sometimes. I feel like there are people in the AFOL world that do a really good job of reminding us of that these sets are still out there for kids to play with, to have a good time with, to experiment with, to imagine with. And the new Dreams line is a spectacular example of that. It reminds me a lot, without building too many of them, but it reminds me a lot of like the Monkey Kid stuff, where the Monkey Kid sets were creative and had kind of like almost like Ninjago again. Like, it's just there are these fun little Lego brands out there that have amazing sets and builds and styles and colors and figures and chips and vehicles. Like, it's just, there's so many amazing things. So don't, no pun intended, sleep on the dream sets this holiday season, because they will be out there. They will be discounted. Get them. If you want to see that line continue, you need to buy them, and you need to buy the next line coming out next year if you want to see this fantastic series continue. Well, here we go. Here's one that's touching my heart right now. There's my Star Wars.
I don't just rag on Star Wars all the time without giving it a little bit of love as well. Star Wars is definitely pricey, especially when you're getting into the holidays. You're looking at a $400, $500, $600 set for these Ultimate Collector Series ones. It can get very overwhelming, where I think the Mandalorian N1 Starfighter Microfighter cures that itch for wanting that set, that full size one, where you get Mandalorian and Grogu, but you're not paying that $60, $70 price tag. So this is definitely the stocking stuffer. And at almost $20, it's substantial enough that you get the vibe of the ship. You get the minifigures, which, if you're a kid, you're going to want those more than anything else. And it just makes sense. So I love this one out of all the microfighters.
And just to be technical here, we're using US prices just to simplify it for our brains, just FYI. So some of these sales and deals and pricing will adjust depending on the region that you're in. Just keep that in mind. We're live on the internet, so we're going everywhere, we're going to Brazil, so who knows what it's going to be cost like in Brazil. I was shocked to see a Star Wars set on here, Brian, but I think you picked a good one, specifically like you said, for the Mando figure. It is our Beskar Mando figure. You do get a little baby Grogu in there, and it's it's a spaceship. It's a ship that you can, fly around. It's a toy. Yep. It's a fun toy for kids to play with. It's easy to build. And
you can also have this on your desk at work and not look like you're a weirdo for having like a 500 piece, whatever. Like this is what a lot of these things are too. So, brickheads are great for that. Microfighters are great for that. So that's what I tend to look on when I'm making lists like this, as you can tell.
Yeah. Yep. No, good call on that one. And of course, I knew this was it was like this and Mario. Like, you cannot have a Brian shopping list without Mario and Minecraft. It just wouldn't be. I would be like, what doppelganger has taken over my co-host here? So here we go. A Minecraft set, of course, to round out his list.
Nether Bastion's really cool. Again, emphasis on characters, environment. If you're familiar with the game, Nether Bastion is torturous if you're not prepared properly. You get 2 of the hoglins, you get a magma cube, and then I'm drawing a blank on what that creature is right there. Oh man, it's been a minute. And then every single one of these Minecraft sets has a unique character skin that you can obviously swap out for your own minifigure. So you're getting a lot of value out of everything here, and for an iconic location within Minecraft. So out of all the Minecraft sets that have a lot of stuff going on, I really like this one. And any diehard Minecraft player is going to know what it is and will be excited about it, as compared to some of the other ones where it's just like, oh, here's a house. Like, okay, cool. But I wanted to advocate for something more specific where a fan would know, like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Sure. My son obsesses over these Minecraft sets, and he doesn't actually build them to the instructions. He loves the pieces, and then he just kind of, just like the game inspires you to do, he wants to create with his Minecraft sets. We have a whole workroom next to our studio here, and the whole bench is just Minecraft sets, and he's just having battles. And of course, he grabs some of my Star Wars Lego ships, and they've crashed into the buildings and things like that. And it's some of it looks kind of like a graveyard at this point, but he does have a blast. So these are great sets for kids, especially if they know the property. I love this. This addition to your set. Now, what was your final budget? Did you tally up what your final?
I did hit 250. It was right around 250. So between all the sets, this one featuring the Strider, you have all the Avengers, Dreams, and there's so many different little things here that I'm imagining if you had it all on one table, it'd take up a full table's worth for $250 US, and that's really what I look for. Is a lot of stuff,
variety,
and then in Lego fashion, you have all these different things and you plop them in together, right? So none of these sets repeat in terms of a theme specifically for that reason. So I stayed right in that budget, man.
Right in that 250 budget. Well, heckin' done, ladies and gentlemen. Now I have a question for you, Mr. Bricks O'Brien.
Yes.
If there was no budget, what sets would you be recommending at this point? No budget.
You mean if the Rutledge family is paying for it, I would buy the Avengers Tower, the Pac-Man arcade, and the big old Disney Castle, the brand new Disney Castle.
Oh my God, those are 3 big ones too.
I'm going, I'm slapping it right down on the table. I mean, obviously the tower. I mean, I've been talking about this forever. The Pac-Man one. I can't help but hear Mr. Jang Bricks in my right ear when he's like, you could buy a working one for less money. And I'm like, you're right. So I'm like, whatever. And then the Disney Castle is the Disney Castle. So
I've heard Jang say that about that and the Atari, and it's an interesting take on Lego sets in that regard. I can't build them.
No, I agree. So me personally, I had a one-up arcade. I had a one-up arcade machine over here that was a Pac-Man 40th anniversary, right? So I swapped, or rather, I traded with a buddy of mine that worked at the Lego store, and I'm like, hey, you take this, and then I can get some Lego. So I would have felt dumb if I traded him a fully working Pac-Man machine that was 4 feet tall for a Lego one that was 1.5 feet tall. That's why I haven't gotten it yet.
Well, that would make that's different. That would make a lot of sense. That would make a lot of sense. But yes, if you're into the model making realm and you're having to choose between one or the other, I'm going to, which is crazy to think about, because I actually used to own a cocktail top table Miss Pac-Man machine. I actually would end up getting more joy on a regular basis and more memories on a regular basis from my building experience with that Pac-Man set than I would by owning one of these one-up Pac-Man type of arcade machines. And it's just, but that's my journey. That's who I am. That's what that's what I'm about. It's the same thing with, an Atari. Like I'm making a model representing an old hobby of mine that I had as a child, and it's nostalgia. And if I had an actual Atari machine, I'm very rarely probably going to find a way to hook it up, and I'm probably not going to play it, even if it is hooked up. But by God, I'm going to walk by that Atari Lego set every day and remember fondly on the building experience I had, and the overall design of it, and the nostalgia feels that I got hit with whilst building it. And that's, to me, the difference in between saying, well, you could buy a working one or the model. The model hits different feels than, just like the Nintendo. The Nintendo, you can go out and buy a Nintendo, but we still celebrate the NES set as one of the greatest Lego sets that they've ever done.
That's totally different too. I can't be going down the Mario pathway. We already got a lot of stuff we got to talk about here. But shout out to Gary Smith, Bubba Laveau, for fact checking me. $250 without taxes. So, bammo whammo, did it right on the money, right there.
On the money without the taxes. Now, my list, in fact, will hit. You'll notice a theme. Because of who I am and what I'm about. I am a Star Wars kid through and through.
No, really? Go figure.
Shut it. And my list very much contains or focuses heavily on Star Wars and the idea of Star Wars Lego sets that your kids and even yourself can play with, not just display sets or anything like that. I really wanted to focus on what would be fun Star Wars sets. Yes, I would love to completely, blow all the money, blow all the budget on things like BD1, which is a spectacular Lego set, and I love that, and it's great, and get sets like that and put them all together and say, okay, well, now what do you do with them? Well, you look at them and, they're nice, pretty display sets. But these sets are going to be more about playability to me. And we have some crossover here, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. I in fact looked directly at this N1 Microfighter, and for a lot of the same reasons, absolutely a lot of the exact same reasons that Brian said here. You get the two figures. It's a very popular property, and I can take this little starship and I can fly it around and I can have a good time. It's a fun, quick little build. It's an easy build for kids.
It's not going to run you $70. It's
either. Not going to. And matter of fact, starting Black Friday, folks, this set is only $11.99 over on Amazon. You're getting 25% off on this set over on Amazon. So do not delay on this set. I think it's a no-brainer set to buy at that price at $11.99 over on Amazon on Black Friday. Get your booties over there. Listen, you can get Lego a lot of places. It doesn't have to be just Lego.com. You can get them a lot of places. And $11.99 is a good price on this set, especially for those two figures. Speaking of micro fighters, ladies and gentlemen, we also you can't have
It's
Mando
a great one.
and not have Boba freaking Fett over here with his micro fighter, which is coming in at a whopping $6.99. That's 30% off, Brian, on this set.
I love this Boba figure. I think it's one of the best Boba Fett figures that has ever come out. I love the sand green with the black and the dark gray. That to me is now quintessential Boba Fett. Hot take. I know the show, right? People feel differently one way or another, but to get the starship and that Boba Fett like together, for like what, $6 or even full price at like 60,
all these sets are worth full price. That's what I'm saying here is all these sets are worth the full price that you would pay. But the fact that these are on sale for Black Friday, $6.99 for this set. Are you kidding me? Get 5.
It's great.
Get a fleet of Boba Fetts and Boba Fett starships because these are great. And it pairs well with your N1 microfighter. Now, all of a sudden, even though they wouldn't battle against each other at this point in the storyline, but, now you have a couple sets that you're flying around and having a good time with. And that's the point is I want you to play with these. I want you to sit down with your kids and build these and then have a good Star Wars space battle session with these things. And I think Brian's right. I think Dad Bod Fett here is a spectacular new mold. I love what they've done here with this. It looks great. And again, the set is a nice, fun, easy build. $6.99. That's it. That's all it would take.
100%.
Speaking of Boba Fett, we do have a little crossover here with this. But speaking of Boba Fett, I couldn't pass up on this because I feel like this is too fun of a set to pass up. But we do have another Boba Fett, but the microfighter, or I'm sorry, the mech armor. Boy, I love these, man. I know you're wrinkling your nose up. I think these mechs are fun. Are so much fun for kids. I think these are great. And that's the thing is you could change this one out. Let's say you already have the Boba Fett let's say you got the microfighter set. Change this one out for the Stormtrooper mech. Now you don't have any crossover, okay? But if you had to pick only one, get this one over the Stormtrooper one. If you weren't getting the microfighter, you get this, and then you still get the Boba Fett. It's such a fun. These mechs are so much fun. Kids have so much fun with these mechs. They have shooters. You can battle them. They're battle bots set in the Star Wars universe.
To be fair, I haven't seen them built, so I don't know the scale. And it's really going to depend on how chunky of a mech they are. And it is obviously very clearly like a fun, not to be taken seriously or pulled from any canon of any kind Star Wars set, which there aren't many of those. I think the mech might be the only exception where everything is pulled directly from some property at some point.
Yeah.
And these are fun. You're still in stocking stuff for territory.
Correct.
And I agree. Of all of them, the Boba Fett one is the most viable and interesting because Stormtrooper's all white, Darth Vader's all black, and this has a little flavor to it.
Got a little flavor to it. And again, coming in on sale, $12.79. Like you said, this is great stocking stuffer material, 19% off over on Amazon. How do you pass this up? It'll go great. A great little extra box to open up underneath the tree or throw into the stocking. These are fun sets. Kids aren't going to sit there and judge these and say, well, these are not in canon. No. Well, of course these appear in Rise of Skywalker.
Well, some of them might if they watch their favorite creator that critiques them, and then they're like, oh, actually, this one doesn't have any leg printing on the side, therefore it's a subpar product from.
Actually, go sit in your room and read a book.
Go get a hobby.
Go get a hobby. The next that's that's the phrase of the week. And of course, you can't have one and not have two. So you really need a second one. And
this one you lost me on.
No, these are great because you can't have one. You can't have one. These are not for you. These are not for you, Brian. These are for me.
I'm not saying
these are for me.
Man,
these are for me.
It's true.
These are for me. These mechs are super fun for kids to play. I cannot wait to get these and have my nephew open these up on Christmas.
Yeah.
And watch him build them. I will help him build them. We will sit there and then we will battle bot ourselves to death in the Star Wars universe, and it will be a blasty blast. And that's what I'm talking about. And at $12.99, how do you beat the price? It's $12.99. These are affordable sets. These are affordable stocking stuffer type sets that can get kids into the Lego world, can give them a build that's not going to break the bank, not going to break their brain trying to figure out how to put them together. They're going to just have a good time with these sets. That's why I absolutely love these sets. But that's not all. No. So fine. We've gotten into some of the mechs. We've gotten into some of the fun. Well, let's start moving it up a notch. Let's start taking it up. We have a very, very modest like budget right now. You know, we were at $6.99, $12.99, $12.79, $11.99. We haven't even touched anything. We're going for quantity here, Brian. And we're going to give you a big ship to play with. We're going to give you a nice big set to throw underneath that tree with the Imperial TIE Fighter. It comes with 3 minifigs there. It's going to be still an easier build for younger kids. And now all of a sudden you've got a TIE Fighter that's chasing around your micro fighters, and then they jump out of their ships and now they're mech battling. It's an all around great time here for them.
So let me say this set, the X-Wing, Boba Fett Starship at a similar price point, and I believe those are the only 3. There might be another one. But they are by far the best deal in Lego Star Wars history, because you're getting 3 minifigures in most of these sets. They are all of a similar scale. They are way more affordable than buying the larger counterparts, and it scratches the itch for what you're looking for out of a set like this. Not everybody needs to have the full minifigure scale size TIE Fighter for what would now be $90 when you can have this one for $40 and looks just as good when you're looking at it, 15 feet away on your shelf once you're done building it forever, and look at it over there. And it allows you to have more. So if you want to build a fleet, this is your way to do that. And you can literally save like half the cost if you just go with that scale, and you can build everything else in that scale. And the Yavin base is in that scale because that Y-Wing in there is of the same scale. So like, it allows way more opportunities to build out your stuff. And to me, it's just as impressive. So I couldn't agree more with this choice. I would have maybe put the X-Wing on there instead, but I wholeheartedly agree with this.
Yeah, I think the X-Wing is kind of like an honorable mention for me, because it's just been out for a while.
Yeah.
This at 29, and the reason this one made the list is because it's on sale, 35% off. $29, Brian.
Yeah,
over on Amazon. $29. It is not out of stock. It is available Black Friday. $29. Do not hesitate on this set for you or your kids. 35% off this set is an absolute dream. And the big one for me, the big we're still staying in the Star Wars realm here, but this is a set that I built this year that I think has amazing play features, has an amazing cast of characters, and by God, it is going to look glorious under that tree when they open it up. And that is, in fact, the Ghost and Phantom 2. This set was a blast to build. Colorful, great minifigs included in it. Bringing the characters from the new Ahsoka series that you're just getting to know, whilst giving you a little hint back at the old Rebels cartoon. This all works together. All of these sets, all these Star Wars. This is how we really invest in our Star Wars sets this Christmas time for our kids. This is a set that, you can help your kids build. Depending on their age, they might be able to tackle this completely on their own if they are patient enough and take their time with it. You get the 2 ships because you get the Phantom 2 and the Ghost with it. This is a lovely set, not only for kids but also for AFOLs that just want a nice display. I have this on display. This is on a nice wall mount, hanging up, and I look at it daily and just love the heck out of this set. So easily going underneath my tree for my favorite Star Wars, Lego Star Wars fan.
This is a great choice if they are familiar with the source material. I think it's less of a slam dunk if you're that. I'm envisioning that extended aunt or uncle that's like, well, he likes the Star Wars, and then not everybody has necessarily seen Rebels or Ahsoka or whatever. So this one wouldn't be as viable, along with things like the Justifier, basically anything from that era. I would have maybe, if I were in your shoes and this were my taste, I would have swapped that out for the ATTE, because at least you have a lot of droids and clones to just kind of have a battle scene of two opposing sides in one go. It's a little bit less money there, but the fact that you get two ships in this one is very, very appealing. And then, yeah, if you're familiar with what this is, it's an iconic ship. It is the equivalent of like the Millennium Falcon to some people in some ways, especially when it comes to scale. So in the event we never get a UCS Ghost, which would be ridiculously huge, this is fantastic. Scratches the itch. Definitely worth the $160, even if it were like, a little bit on sale. I'm not surprised it isn't on sale.
It doesn't
need
to be.
But even at that price, it's good.
At 160, It doesn't. This set's doing a lot, piece count wise, minifig wise. This set's doing enough of what it needs to do. And yeah, Uncle Bob with that finds oh look, it's the Star Wars. They're gonna think they just put the Millennium Falcon underneath the tree. They don't. Who cares? The kid doesn't care. The kid doesn't care. The kid doesn't even necessarily need to be, especially when it comes to a Lego Star Wars set. Speaking from experience, it doesn't need to be. We put several Star Wars sets underneath that tree, and the kid had no reference for it whatsoever, and it didn't matter.
I had a list that was like, I know this is from this, and I want this because of this, and I'm going to watch the source material on this and this and this. It's just
nerd.
There's your redeem, chat. All right. There it is.
But here's the problem, Mr. Bricks O'Brien. I was so efficient with my sale prices and my list that I only came at $233.94.
Look at you. What a rock star.
So I had to add one more, and much like you, I had to add my favorite 3-in-1 set for the year, continuing the space theme right along. This 3-in-1 space shuttle is not to be forgotten. This 3-in-1 space shuttle coming in at $8.99 is a spectacular set. The little spaceman that you can build as an alternate build, the more of like rocket ship as opposed to the space shuttle ship. You could build that alternate build, and all of a sudden now you're adding another ship into your arsenal to attack your Star Wars ships and have a good time just having a fantastic space battle around the Christmas tree this holiday season. This little space shuttle is not to be forgotten.
I agree. And I believe we have confirmation that there's no unused pieces, which unfortunately is a recurring thing with a lot of these 3-in-1s. They optimize for the box model, and then the other two, they kind of whatever. Mm-hmm. But they seem like very efficient and substantial builds, no matter which one you get. So absolutely, this one would be worth getting, 2 or 3 of to have under one Christmas tree. Or you have, a set of 3 kids. You give them each one. They can build one of each of the models if they want to. So I agree heavily with this one.
Yeah. Now, if money was no object,
if Mr. O'Brien is paying for this,
Mr. O'Brien is paying for this, number one on my list that I think you should walk away with this holiday season, believe it or not, is not the Avengers Tower.
Absolutely out of your god.
It's Rivendell. If Mr. Bricks O'Brien is buying me a Christmas present this year, or buying you a Christmas present this year, it's Rivendell. Rivendell is one of those just statement sets. It's beautiful. If you're a fan of the property, the Easter eggs, the story it tells throughout, the characters you get. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's going top of my list. Now, with that list though, I want Mr. Bricks O'Brien to buy me some fantastic. You don't want it to get a little stale in your rooms, right? So you want to get a little wall art up.
Yes, sir.
And the Amazing Spider-Man wall art set was a pure joy for me to build. Very unique, very creative. As a massive Spider-Man fan, what a treat of a set to be able to display on my wall. Love that set. And
way more dynamic than just dots, man. I like it.
And that's why to me it beat out like a Great Wave. If I was going to pick like a, we have kind of 3 art sets that I personally gravitate towards, and that's Starry Night, that's the Great Wave, and that's Spider-Man. I'm not, even though I was a Rolling Stones fan, or am a Rolling Stones fan, like the Rolling, that didn't do much for me. And
they had a flash sale on that for like 60% off. You see that?
Yeah, it was. And trust me, I thought about it, but there's just something about that set that just doesn't sit right with me. And it was just kind of like, if I could take those funds and allocate them somewhere else.
Yep, I agree.
But Spider-Man, the dynamic nature of that Spider-Man set to me won out over. And it could be I'm a little biased when it comes to, it's Marvel, it's Spider-Man, it's like I still enjoy. I love the art of woodblock printmaking. And so the Great Wave is it was hard. It was hard for the Great Wave not to make my list because of that. But boy, that Spider-Man set is just absolutely something else. It is absolutely something else. However, as the Disney fan that I am, my God, if you're not investing in that Walt Disney tribute camera before it goes away, you are going to miss out on a set. You're going to regret your life decisions.
God, it's good. It's really good.
It's so good. And you're getting stuff in that set that you can't get anywhere else, and you won't, and it doesn't make any sense for you to get it anywhere else. And it's just, that's going to be a set that I feel like if you don't pull the trigger on soon, you're really, really, really going. If you're a Disney fan, honestly, even if you're not a Disney fan, you can still respect the build that's going on there and the exclusivity of pieces and minifig included with Walt. But the fact that set tells the story of Walt and his creation with new technology, using their multiplane camera in this display set, is an incredible thing. And Lego knocked it out of the park with that one. And I feel like you're really, really, really going to regret it if you do not pull the trigger on this tribute camera, which is why we're giving one away at the end of November. Shameless plug for the Twitch channel, because this is a set I feel like everybody should own. And I wanted to try to do my best to be able to kind of give that to somebody in the community that maybe wouldn't have the opportunity to buy it themselves.
Look at the Disney stuff. Like, I have all the minifigures from series 1 and 2, and I'm like not a diehard Disney fan by any means, but like I really like the figures and how they are all looking on a shelf together and all the different IP, right? Obviously it's all Disney, but whatever. And then seeing Dumbo and Bambi, I'm like, yup. And you're right. There's no other context that they would appear in. You get a Walt Disney minifigure. It's the equivalent of getting a art set that isn't Spider-Man and getting a Stan Lee minifigure. It's a similar idea, and you're building out like a comic book cover of Avengers 1 or Spider-Man 1, whatever. The same idea. No other context I feel like it could happen. And the more you talk about it, the more you want me to get it. And I'm very casual, so I very much agree. And I'm surprised. I mean, $250 is, like we said, a modest budget for Lego, so I'm not surprised it didn't make your list, but I knew it would if we had a little more wiggle room. You
gotta have that little more. Again, these plastic bricks are not cheap, but there are ways to still maximize some of the costs there. And again, these are just some of our suggestions. you can, take things out and put things in and whatever to, fit your particular style, your particular child, your particular family, or whatever. Just, take advantage. Look around though. My goal was to look beyond what Lego was offering on their website and say, here are some deals over on Amazon that you can easily get. You don't have to rush out to a store. You don't have to fight the crowds if you don't want to. You can sit with your jammies on Friday morning, sipping your cup of coffee next to your fire, just like I'm going to be doing, and you can be doing your shopping on your phone. You don't have to wait for Cyber Monday. Come on.
Listen, if you got that New England grit, you're going to fight tooth and nail. You're going to kick me more to the side.
How many donuts? How many donuts are you bringing, Brian? How many donuts are you bringing?
You dunk it in one hand and you Gavin Knuckles in the other. Just bam, get that Avengers.
Do you have to space the donuts out? Do you have to space the donuts out like over the course of the 3 hours you're going to be waiting in line?
Just like that. Slinging that Boston cream like it's nobody's business.
What happens when the coffee and donuts hits the colon at 5:58?
That's a problem for future Brian. A problem for future Brian.
A problem for future Brian.
As it always is. Just like my tax liabilities. So we looked at the audience, and we also looked at what some people recommended here in the live chat, but also a little bit beforehand. And we gave a pretty comprehensive list, so it's to no surprise that everybody agrees with us. At least one of those suggestions was the Donkey Kong Treehouse honorable mention, after my own heart with some Super Mario there. I didn't put that on there because it feels like it's a bit too intertwined with the Mario itself. So like you would need that Mario to really take full advantage of everything. But you get Donkey and Cranky here, and the Treehouse is kind of cool. You get the hammock, and I've built this. I have this. It's over here. It's a fun set, and who wouldn't want a Donkey Kong, man? It's sweet.
I slept on these Mario sets for quite a while, and then ended up getting the starter packs to go along with some of the adult Mario sets, the question mark block, the Nintendo, and so on. And putting them together, I just sat. I sat at this desk, and just kind of opened up these starter packs and started clicking some stuff together. And next thing I know, I'm just sitting there playing with them, Brian. And like I didn't even. It was like all of it. I was, what am I doing? Why? They're just ruddy fun. They're just fun. They're fun little sets. If you can find these things on sale, don't hesitate. They're fun.
Which you can, by the way. They're on sale all the time.
Fire sale. They're paying you to take them at this point.
Dude, you can pay me to take them. I'll take, dude. If any, shout out to anybody here. If you have Lego Mario sit in your closet or your bins and they're not getting played with anymore, hit up Mr. O'Brien. I'll take all your garbage. They call me the garbage man around these parts. I'll take all your garbage.
They call you the garbage man. The Mustang is on sale as well. They brought
it's surprising. Neither of us put on either of our lists a car of any kind.
I thought about the pickup truck. I thought about the pickup truck for the longest time. Yeah. And it was just, I'm telling you, it was taking that large chunk of coin. Yep. And I really, because I'm so passionate about my love for that Ghost and Phantom 2 set, I wanted that to be my major chunk. And it was hard for me to put even on sale right now on Amazon, or will be on Black Friday. It was hard for me to put that pickup truck on my list because the Phantom took its spot. And a lot of people, that won't be the case. There's going to be a lot of people that think the Ghost and the Phantom don't deserve that. And the pickup truck is a better build and blah, 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 and whatever, better display piece. But it's not as play feature heavy as what the Phantom and Ghost are for me. And it definitely, you went all over, like you kind of gave people variety. I wanted to provide, whoever I was buying for underneath the tree, like kind of a theme. And my theme was very much Star Wars or / space with the creator 3-in-1. I still came under budget, by the way, $242.93.
There you go. Well, that's with sale prices. I didn't go sale prices. Well, I did. Never mind. So the only other thing. So they're just really cool when you have this whole all the cars, like the Camaro, the Mustang. Sure. all of those are really sweet when you like if you're not like a building person, that's totally your buy one every year and add to the lineup. And you have a sick lineup of stuff. One set I do want that I don't haven't gotten yet. I think it's 2 actually, but I'll go with this one. Is the I want that Ghostbusters Ecto 1 before it goes away, man. Have you built that one?
Oh my God, yeah. I have a light kit on Ecto 1.
Dude, so I always said I would want to buy it during October for spooky season, and I would have to build it during October and watch it alongside the movies, and I've never had the time to. But I have the DeLorean. That's the other one that's on my list, along with the Nolan trilogy
the tumbler
tank,
yeah,
whatever. Yeah. Those 2.
You listen, if you have not yet pulled the trigger, because I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. If you have not yet pulled the trigger on Ecto 1, you got to pull the trigger on it soon, especially with the new movie coming out, because I'm telling you right now, if we do not see a new Firehouse set to go along with that new movie, I will be shocked. Because Ecto 1 was a huge hit when it came out for Lego. So if a Firehouse is not announced for this new film, I will be just frankly, Lego would have missed the boat on that one. Like they would have.
You would be just as livid as I was when Lego didn't announce any new Mario anything for the Mario movie.
Yes. They missed the boat on that one. They could have taken the Mario movie and created a whole new line based around that and finally changed the mold with what they were doing with Mario Lego.
You'd have the biggest slam dunk of all slam dunks, and they just let the bag wash down the river.
Yeah. A Mario Kart line of Lego would just absolutely dominate. We're getting too far into the weeds, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting too far into the weeds. We still want to know what your Lego shopping list might look like. So please do not hesitate to reach out to us on social medias, Twitter, Threads, Discord, here in the comment section on YouTube, or find us over on our individual Twitch channels, twitch.tv/Zach M. Rutledge, twitch.tv/Bricks O'Brien. Brian, last minute thoughts before you venture out at 4 a.m. on Black Friday for this shopping holiday season.
I'm very excited to get to build the tower and build it live in front of a bunch of people here. At least, a good chunk of it here. We'll see how things go. I have not purchased many Lego sets this year because not a lot have necessarily grabbed me as much as I've wanted to. So this one I'm very much so looking forward to. And I hope that whatever you have on your list, you're able to allocate a little bit of time, budget, or whatever for yourself, treat the people around you. And as we go into American Thanksgiving here, spend some time with family if you're in a position to, or at least reflect with a little bit of gratitude on what you have going on as we look forward to 2024, because there's always so much going on that I know I always forget, and I'm sure you do too, like just like all the stuff that's happened and taking a step back to reflect and acknowledge. So it's a weekend we get a chance to do that here amidst fighting people for Lego.
Right. As you're waiting in line for 4 hours to for the doors to open, whatever your favorite.
It's not that long.
Whatever. Okay, fine. 2 hours, 3 hours. You don't know how many people they're going to be there. They're going to be lying. You're getting at 4. They're getting there at midnight.
No, totally not. No. Oh, I got my connections anyways. I'm good. Don't worry about it.
He's good. Yeah, he knows people. Thank you so much, Mr. Bricks O'Brien, and to our lovely audience here and chat. We appreciate all of the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel to help support the channel. Check us out on Twitch, twitch.tv, Zach M. Rutledge, twitch.tv, Bricks O'Brien, and of course all of our other social media channels at the exact same name. Enjoy the holiday shopping season! We out!